literally. Having plugged this into Wizard, I went too small. I went for 133%. Wizard agrees with the trips plus ace queen plus, but it wants to go 250% as a probe. So ace queen is mixing between 250%, 20% of the time, and 80% check. And jack nine suited, I go for a really nitty fold. I should really memorize my three flop ranges. Fuck me, whatever. Ignore that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Nit.
Yeah, it's okay. I pick up enough big hands this video to have some action, even if I'm too much of a nit. Okay, so queen 10, we face a small blind flat, which is kind of strange because I don't know what a small blind flat versus button open range really looks like. But I figure we want to do a decent amount of checking, so I randomize this between check and bet, mainly checking though.
You don't know who Bunny Tricks is?
No clue.
That's Charlie Carroll's student, that girl.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's her.
Oh yeah, well turn I think is just the standard call versus Charlie Carroll student. Had I known it was Charlie Carroll student though, I would have just shoved, because
I expect her to be
Carroll.
aggro here.
No, she checks river. And I don't know if I can still value bet this. I think it's close, but I think the small blind flatting range is pretty tight, so I just check it back. I think it's a pretty close spot. I'll eventually check.
What are we doing there if he bets like 3/4?
Calling?
If he bets 3/4 on the river, I mean, we have a pretty decent bluff catcher. We block clubs, we block the straight. We have a queen, which is solid. He shouldn't have that much ace-x in that line. He can have ace-10.
She.
He might have called. Yeah, I just range bet on the left, so that's why I'm betting fives there.
I don't know about that queen 10 flat in the small blind though. That seemed weird.
Not a thing.
That's not a
That's
thing.
the Charlie Carroll special.
That's
Yeah.
the Charlie Carroll special. I'm lucky. I'm good enough.
We are, what is it? We are lucky, we are skillful, we will, I don't know. Fuck it. Yeah. So I roll low frequency 3-vote the 8-7. Don't get it that time, unfortunately. Then I roll for a donk, which I also don't get. Makes me play this hand really passively.
I don't know that we donk here, ever.
I think we can donk here. Not that high of a frequency. I mean, having run the sim, actually, we can donk here. It's a pretty low donk frequency,
Like
but we still can. I think it was like 8%-ish.
The thing I remember from the counter course is if there are if the highest card is a 7, then you will have some donks in the big blinds.
Yeah, it's usually also on the paired boards that are more connected and not like 7-7 deuce or something. I also roll for a raise, which I also don't get because this earning is making me passive as hell.
I like your RNG though. Kind of jealous.
Yeah, it's a nice one. And then turn here, I screw up. So I pure call turn. This is a mistake. 8-7 of clubs is pure calling. The other 8-7 combos are mixing like 10% raise and 90% fold.
Wow.
So calling this is a mistake. I figured with an open ender, calling this wouldn't be a mistake, but apparently it is.
Yeah, double gutter, no?
Yeah, we gotta be pretty tight there. So I call. I think the river ace is pretty good for me. I'm gonna be double floating a lot of ace-x. So I think we can definitely donk here. which I do, and that is kind of correct. I mean, obviously we don't get here with this combo, but if we have like 8-7 of clubs or any of these other combos, we're pure donking. So the line is like kind of okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The turn was obviously
Yeah,
screwed
yeah.
up, but
Is that the sizing? Like, is that the correct
Yeah.
sizing? Yeah.
on the river I went for a quarter pot. Wizard wants to mix between 10% and 35% because it doesn't have a quarter pot sizing. I think just going for a quarter pot is going to be fine. I think ace 4 is a fold versus a 2.5x, but again, I don't memorize my pre-flop
is.
ranges. I really got to drill those.
It is.
So,
It's a fold.
okay, good.
Hey, you have Andre Cozy in your pool on your tables.
Yeah, he's in there quite a lot.
Yeah, he plays the leaderboards a lot. I think he goes through all the stakes.
Yeah, so we're going to go for the nitty non-4 bet. And we're just going to fold.
Whoa.
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 Yeah, I know. I'm really
dude.
being a nit this session.
What was that? What was up with that? Hold on. I think
Ace
No
queen
hand
off.
holdem.
all I said.
No aces
Ace
fold.
queen off. Gets called.
Yeah.
Squeezed in
Staying
the
true
next
to your
one.
name. Playing no hand holdem.
I mean, I don't think we can call here. I think calling here would be a mistake.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know. I
This
mixed
is
between
a-
4 bets and
I don't think.
Did you roll for that, or you just decided?
yeah, I rolled between
I
4
don't
bets.
think you have to fold. I don't think you have to. I think it necessarily maybe not the bet play solver wise at the rate that you're given and all that stuff. I don't think you're losing that much EV by. I think you lose more EV by folding.
You think this is plus EV to call?
I don't.
Depends on
I
how
don't
far, how stupid you are gonna when you hit
Because
your
you're out
hand.
of you're out of position versus 2.
Yeah.
Which, I think the 4 better fold is the correct play personally.
Yeah, but we have an ace and a queen in our hand, so like.
Yeah, I know. But you're
We
still
should
out of
have an ace
position
in
versus
hand.
2 players.
I
That's a
know.
big time.
If we hit an ace, are we scared of ace king? Is that what we're saying? Like,
Well, we are scared of ace king if we hit
Yeah.
an ace, but
Splits here between 4 bet and fold.
yeah, at that. But
Yeah.
if you look
what
at
was
the
the
EV
split
difference,
out of curiosity?
This is, I think it's favoring fold. Hold on.
If it was favoring fold, I'm good.
63%.
yeah,
Yes, because I rolled like a 52 and I folded. So thank God.
I just think
not
exploitively
fuck that
you
one
can have a call a little bit in this spot.
Okay, that makes
Unless,
some sense.
I mean, unless you're willing to overplay your hand, that's the thing. You just can't overplay it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's also extremely hard to get money in. You know what I mean? Like, I get what you're saying, but it's still hard to get money in.
I mean, if
Position
anything, I've
versus
seen
2.
players though in this pool squeeze really, really aggressively
Yeah.
because a lot of the flatters are wrecked, so people squeeze really aggressively, assuming that they have too wide of a range.
Yeah, so
Wouldn't that incentivize you to 4-bet more rather than call
Yeah.
more?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
That's like backing up why Waffle's suggesting, well, defending it at least in some sense. But yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait, it's Sanctity in the pool on the right? Holy shit. That can't be Sanctity, right? That has to be some. Yeah, that's some
It
other
is.
name.
It is.
That's not actually Sanctity.
They're probably playing the leaderboard thing. They're just playing a couple hundred hands, right?
Yeah, but Sanctity would never drop down and short stack 100.
Oh, right,
like,
right.
come on.
You're
There has to be
right.
some other.
You're
There
right,
has to be
right.
some other name similar to Sanctity. I didn't notice it in game, but I would have given him a label had it actually been him, I think.
Yeah, huge fish. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think we can play. Yeah, huge fish. No, the only 500 zoom reg I've seen drop down to 100 and played with a few times is Poker Pro 2.0 or whatever his name is. He's dropped down a few times.
Yeah.
And so has Gazzy. Gazzy's been in 100 zoom pool occasionally. But you see, this is why I fold, because then I immediately pick up ace queen again. Like,
In a better spot.
easy. In a better spot. There we go. Pick up the blinds. It's all good. So king jack suited on the right versus a 3 point, what is that, 3.2x, something like that. Definitely can't fold. I thought it was close between 4-betting and calling, but I think short stackers who go too small out of the big are probably going to overcall versus a 4-bet. Seems likely, so I figured I'd just go a bit more linear. On the flop, I thought it was kind of interesting. I don't study short stack play, so I could be way off on this. But I think if I raise here, his 3-bet sizing is going to be a jam. So I don't think I want to raise too much with this, because if he shoves with like an ace-high flush draw and I have to call off, I'm
Right.
just in terrible shape. So I think we want to favor call here, but don't know my short stack play, so could be wrong on that. Left, I roll high, so 3-bet. Turn, I think about jamming, I decide just to call. Again, I'm not very good at these exploitative plays versus Rex, so could have completely fucked this up. River jack, he checks, I
You
think there's a
better
decent
don't.
check back. And yeah, we win versus 7-6. That was double barreling for some reason. So aces, first time of the session, because it's going to be pretty frequent. And nice cold 4-bet spot. I'm going small here because I always go small for my cold 4-bets. On the left, I roll this between 3-bet and fold. It's a pure 3-bet versus a min open, but he went 3x. So I think that's going to be kind of close, but could just be pure. And then we pick up aces on the left because, you know, more aces. And we cold 4-bet them again because, you know, action.
Nice.
So, yeah. Also, just a heads up, I raffle at 120 bigs, so that's why I'm sitting out on the right already.
Why did you go so big here?
I didn't go that big. That's like barely over 2x.
Well, the last hand you 2x'd basically.
Yeah,
I
because he
went
was short.
slightly over
Yeah,
2x on the last one, but he was short. He went
Oh, okay,
smaller in
sorry,
the
sorry.
last hand too. This guy went 11. The last guy went to like 10 on the other table, so I sized down a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah. Here, cold 4-bet range, super tight, super strong. I think we can just range bet. And I range check versus a small blind flatter and then a big blind call. I think that's probably fine, but I don't study multi-way that much. And this guy rips in jacks, and we stack him. Yay. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that.
running it twice. No maximum pain.
No, always run it twice. Lower the variance. What is this?
I always run it once. It's just I hate splitting the pot.
3 times.
I mean, running it twice is even more pain, because when you run it twice, you can lose both to the jacks,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
just way more painful than
Dude,
losing one.
that hurts a lot. I've had that several times, and fuck me, man. Holy shit.
I've only had it where I lose to an underpair after we get a lid on the flop on both runs once. It's only ever happened to me once.
I know Matt knows the feeling too.
I do. I was resisting any. I had like no temptation to comment either. I was just like,
Yeah, I was like,
fuck
where's
this.
Matt in this?
On the right, I'm not sure what our bluffing range should look like on the river. I think about this one, but decide not to. I don't know. I thought the blockers were kind of okay. Not great, but kind of okay. So King 9-5, I'm going to be using a pretty polarized betting range here. So I'm going to go big, and I'm going to bet this sometimes. Backdoor straight, backdoor nut flush draws. Decent hand to bet.
How does the stars pool compare to ACR?
Never played on ACR in my life. Can't say much about it. But Stars Pool seems pretty good to me.
Bigger. How many people are like in this pool right now while you're
Yeah,
recording?
the pools are bigger.
Yeah.
Definitely more fish on stars. I haven't played on ACR, but I've watched a lot of ACR, and there's definitely more fish on stars than any other site, pretty much.
Maybe not GG, but the rake is also lower. So
Well, GG's is like I don't know, man. It's nit fest in the fastball in the rush games. It's
Russian
super
cash.
nitty
Oh, damn.
because they're just leaderboard racing, right?
Oh, it's true. I mean, in this pool, we have a massive nit, which is Thomas HN. Because that
Also-
guy, he's a pro. He grinds every day. But he 8 tables, 4 entries of 50 zoom, and 4 entries of 100 zoom. I have no clue how on earth you can 8 table zoom. That seems psychotic to me. But that's him. If he ever re-raises you pre, he has aces. I'm telling you, the guy is a massive, massive nit.
I
But
mean, if it works.
Wolfkind or whatever. He does like 6, doesn't
But he's
6
hella
tables
low.
of zoom simultaneously.
he? He's so
No.
bad. He's so bad.
Oh, that guy's
How
a
the hell
fucking
would you
huge punt.
do that?
The guy punts his whole life every day. Just sits there and punts away.
Okay, so on the right, I've been testing out having variable open sizes, ISO sizes versus open limpers. So I have queens, I go big is basically my thought process there. Very in depth, I'm aware.
And then you get the flatter and the small blind. Like,
And I
how
get
are,
the
how are
flatter
the
and the
games
small
on
blind.
stars? They're pretty
Welcome to 100 Zoom, boys. Although the pool was actually better than usual this morning. I mean, it's still usually pretty good, but it was just insane this morning. Here I'm just going to play pretty face up versus 2 Rex. I'm just going to check this. Normally versus some regs, I'd probably mix queens with a diamond between small bet and check. But, yeah, and I think versus pot we can just fold. The queen of diamonds is really bad, blocks a lot of his bluffs. We're multi-way. I don't think we need to defend this. I roll on the left for a low frequency delay. I'm checking range on the flop and then low frequency delay at this hand. I think Wizard won with like 22%, so I was pretty close on that. And then on the river, I don't think, like I think we're on that threshold or near that threshold of if we need to bluff this or not. But clubs are the worst suit, right? Because on the flop he's going to be stabbing a lot of his spade, heart, and diamond air, but not his club air as much. So he has more club air than the other suits in his range. So out of all combos we want to bluff, clubs are the worst. So I give this one up.
Does the queen high want to bluff there?
I wasn't sure in game, but having run it in Wizard, Queen 9 of clubs is a pure check, and
Yeah.
Queen 9 of hearts, diamonds, and spades are all pure bets.
Hmm.
I wasn't sure in game if I needed to like I figured Queen 9 of spades, hearts, and diamonds would want a pure bet, but I wasn't sure if I needed to roll this or if this was a pure check. I thought it was kind of close. But yeah, this is a pure check, and the other suits are pure bets. King Queen on the left, I just roll between c-bet and check. I'm going to be using a big bet strategy here.
I mean, are your highest numbers the most aggressive or the lowest numbers the most aggressive?
Highest numbers are aggressive because I'm not a lunatic like everybody else in this group.
You're a weirdo.
And I
What a
don't use
fucking
low
weirdo.
numbers of aggression. Yeah, and then versus, what is that, 2/3, 70%, something like that. I think we can just fold. Queen 10, I mix between bet and check. Check it this time. I think I check it this time at least, yeah.
If you had like Queen 10 of hearts, would that be more of a bet? But because
No,
you
I'd
have
rather bet Queen 10 of clubs number because I have more equity.
okay,
But I think that's going to be pretty close.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pure call on the turn. And then river, I'm just going to have one size here. I'm going to bet 70 or check, and I'm just going to bet 70 here. I think it's slam dunk value. And we get snapped by the very reasonable snap of 9-5 suited.
Wow.
Snap was not considering at all folding ever. You probably could have overbet. He had a call any on.
Probably. And now you get to see my beautiful skills of timing out while two-tabling Zoom and missing my open. That's fantastic. Yeah. I think 9-5 suited is also a really bad turn pro by him. I mean, admittedly, he went like half pot, which is a smaller size than I would use, but I still think that's too wide for half pot.
Yeah, that's atrocious in my view. I mean, I think that's
Yeah, I think
on
that's
this,
just.
I think on this board he can have a block sizing.
Oh no, on this board, I think if you were to plug this into Wizard, it would be mixing block 70% and overbet. Like I think it would have all three.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine, but I think for like a smaller size, 9-5 is still too wide. If you were to go like a quarter, this would be kind of marginal, but I think for half pot, it's just way too.
I mean, is this even the fans 9-5 suited? How much did you
yeah,
open?
that's
Like a min
probably
raise?
not. I min opened,
Yeah.
but in
Then
this
maybe
range
this.
structure, I don't know which might be close. Yeah. So here I'm gonna roll for a donk with the queen 10 of hearts because we love our donks, and we still don't get it. And squeeze the tens because two callers and money.
Like what's your raising size here? I mostly go like 4x and then +1 for every extra caller. So like 10x, 12. I will go 15 here, or like around 15 at 17.5.
Yeah, I went 13. I think 15 is fine, but I like leaving myself some playability post flop, and I'm just gonna play overbet or check on the left. So overbet on an 80. Yeah, I think if you go 15 there, though, it's fine. I don't think that makes a big difference.
I think some people even go bigger there. Some people would like go 18, 19, 19.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
that's
if you go like
stupid.
18 and then somebody shoves on you,
Yeah,
you're kind
it's
of already
so
pot
dumb.
committed, basically. Like, it sucks. You can't go 18 and fold. It's just painful. And we get aces again, because, aces.
Always
we get-
short stacks.
Yeah, we get 3 bet by the short stacker, and I go for our small 4-bet, like practically min.
Do you ever flat here, like against the fish, short stack?
I don't know against short stackers. He's gonna call, and then I'm gonna check flop because I think versus a short stacker with an SPR of less than 1, we want to do more trapping. So I'm gonna check, but I don't know my short stack game very well. We called the 3 of voice 8s because we rolled it. And on the left, we have the guy donk jam the A6 that he called versus the 4-bet, very standard.
Oh,
It's okay. I still won like a buy-in and a half in this session. It's definitely a sun run. It doesn't matter if we lose that. 8s, I think, are just going to pure check turn. I don't see much merit to betting this.
How does he have a6 of clubs? Like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck, man?
Yeah, so you guys asking how's the start? It's good.
Like,
Pretty good.
I mean,
it's
and they
literally
had
the
even-
worst ace he could have. Like, he cannot have a worse ace. It's not even possible. Oh my god.
I mean, and Americans aren't even allowed to play.
Yeah, like imagine.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that's like the positive thing about ACR. All the Americans play there, so yes.
True. And I'm going to check down the 8s. I think it's close if we can value bet. I didn't actually check this spot in Wizard, but it did not flag that as an EV error when I uploaded the hand, so it's definitely not a pure bet if it's a bet at all. But I think that spot's kind of close. I should have probably checked it.
Yeah, I would also check. Like,
Yeah.
even if you miss value, it probably is a marginal spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely pretty marginal because having uploaded it to Wizard, it's 0 EV either way.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I don't know if it's a bet. Yeah.
You don't get called by
Definitely
much worse,
check
that's
this.
for sure. Right.
Is that
Well,
same
it's
guy
probably
with
gonna have
the
to zero
A6
some, like,
suited?
ace high, some stuff like that.
Right.
Oh, is that the same guy? No, I don't know. So we cold 4-bet kings now because we ran out of aces. So
Oh, wow. Must be nice.
still going to go small because cold 4-betting.
Hey Matt, this is how you beat the pool on ACR. You just get all these
Yeah.
hands, okay?
Looks. I should.
Yeah, just make more hands, man. It's not that hard.
I should have took
Yeah.
his course.
I should put out a course, how to play aces.
Then that was a really small four bet. That was,
Yeah.
almost
Thank you.
almost a
I
min
feel it was
race.
a really tricky spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very
I would-
proud of that
yeah.
decision.
I would have went at least 20 there, maybe like 20, 20 and 21.
No, I wouldn't have gone 21. 21 is almost 3x. When we're cold 4-betting, we usually have a really tight range and want to go really small. So I think 21 would be
Yeah,
big.
I always forget that too.
Yeah.
When it's a cold 4-bet, it's slightly smaller just
Smaller.
because, like
Yeah,
you said,
you get a point.
it's-
Yeah, because it were the two tightest positions. So
Yeah,
I get
and
yeah.
the cold 4-betting range is like 4 hands.
Yeah. Queen Jack 10 disaster of a flop. For sevens at least, so pure fold. This is me attempting to do a better job of taking notes, which I've been trying to get better at, and noting down hands that I want to review after. So you're gonna have to bear with me struggling through the flagging hands on PT4.
Why don't you just flag it?
I wanted to, but then I was thinking about the Queen 10 offhand that I played versus Charlie Carroll student at the start, and I couldn't find it because I couldn't go far enough back, I guess, because I closed the table. So I pulled up Notepad to remind myself later.
You have PT4, right?
Yeah, it's open.
Okay, because you can filter for queen 10s. Like,
Yeah, that's what I did after. I did
okay,
that after the
okay,
session. I
okay,
just want to remind
okay. You're
myself.
just trying to remind
we-
yourself. Okay.
Yeah. So we faced the guy cold calling the 3-bet when we have aces again, because, aces.
Wow.
Um,
How do you do this?
This has been a good session. This has been a really good session. So on the right, I'm not sure if I play pot or check or quarter with range. I think both are fine. I have no clue what I do here. I guess I go for quarter with range. Think it's fine.
I think on this board, hold on, can I
So-
slow for a second?
Yeah.
It's not an
So-
overbet.
Yeah, it's if you're playing this like purely GTO, this board should probably be an overbet. Definitely a bigger size.
but I think if you plug it in and compare EVs, I think the EV of playing pot or overbet or check and a quarter pot with range is going to be pretty close.
Okay.
As like one sizing strategy, so I don't think it's the end of the world. But yeah, I usually actually on like ace king deuce or ace king 3, it's more important to play pot or check because we have more trash hands and our range is more polarized. On ace king 8 or ace king 5 or stuff like this, basically every single hand in our range at least has a backdoor straight draw, and we have less trash and more just like weak hands. So it gets better to go for a quarter with range on those boards.
Okay.
So if this were like ace king deuce, I would have definitely gone for pot or better check. But on ace king 8, I think it's pretty close between the two, and I don't think it really matters.
I really appreciate that distinction, actually.
Yeah,
This makes a lot of sense.
yeah. But I mean, if you pick either and you just go for it,
Yeah.
I think you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So
you don't split your sizings at all.
my
right?
C betting ranges,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Very
it's
rarely
very,
on the
very
turn
good.
will I split two.
Yeah.
And on the river, I'll usually split into like two sizes.
Okay.
I get enough from watching CG's stream, seeing him split into 6 and going, I have no idea how the hell he can hold this in his head. I don't know how he does it. I could not do it. But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
So aces, I'm just gonna range bet for small because he shouldn't have basically any sevens here. So
What do you guys think about just jamming here with the aces?
Well, he jams for me with the 10s, which
I
I think is
know.
a huge punt.
That's a
Is it-
Steve punt right there, boys.
But I
I'm
think
proud
I
of
think
him.
his hands like face up, right?
Yeah.
So like I mean
Yeah.
he's obviously a recreational player, right? And
I guess
And I
so,
wonder-
but I mean,
and I wonder
yeah.
like I wonder if we jam there, right? Like he's like let's say he just calls there instead, and then a king rolls off on the turn, and
You
then
think
he
we don't
decides
stack
to-
him?
Yeah, I'm just curious, like as what you guys think about that is like an exploit there, is just jamming.
I mean,
just
his range is basically 8s through jacks. I mean, almost always. So
yeah.
yeah.
I could get behind that. Yeah. Jacks
you're-
on
I
the
think
right, by
he's
the
a
way,
good-
rule between flat and 3-bet.
It's a good point. If any overcard hits the turn, he pretty much shuts down, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I like the jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the jam.
I'm just thinking about it in the moment. I don't know how it would play out.
I mean, theoretically, definitely not, right? But versus a wreck,
No.
I can totally get behind that.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, it's almost like atrocious,
Brutal.
right? Just yeah.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
It's basically the opposite of GTO.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I have seen people in this pool take the same line as this guy did with, like, Jack 7 off. So I don't
Yeah.
think it's exclusively 10s. But probably mainly. Yeah.
Jesus, I'm moving.
I
Yeah,
also
man,
think
come
his
on
shove
down
is
to
really, really
Canada.
bad. like after we 4-bet, the ranges are going to be so tight. I think tens is just a punt to shove there.
Oh, it's a huge punt.
Like it's
All
yeah, it's
around.
not
The
like
way
I'm
he
even
played
going
his
to have
hand is
nines in my 4-betting range there. Like
the way he
this
played his
is
hand,
just
period, was just brutal.
yeah. Yeah, I don't remember what happened on the right. I think I went for like half pot, c-bet on the flop, and then checked turn. I think I rolled turn for a barrel sometimes and rolled a check, and then just folded river.
Although that hand is pretty tough to play. Tens, you got flat and 3-bet. I get why he
I
did
mean,
it, but he still ended up losing it. Like, I mean, he still ended up getting stacked. So what
Yeah,
the
I-
fuck did that do for him? Nothing.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
it's
I
probably
was
most of the
open
time a
under
fault.
the.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
mainly folding. Probably
a
mixing
fault.
like fold and 4-bet low frequency. Yeah.
No, it might be even 100% fault versus
I don't
under the
think it's
gun.
100% fold,
Yeah.
but I think it's going to be close. Like it's probably going to be like 80% fold, 20% 4-bet or something.
Right.
Like definitely leaning to the side of fold. Those are
It's
tight
yeah,
positions.
Yeah, those are exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a very infrequent spot. And that's a spot you just will not have a lot of practice with. Like under the gun opens, button 3-bets, and you're in the big blind.
Yeah. He seems to be multi-tabling though, so I'm not exactly sure what he's doing.
I just gotta step away for a second. Not that anybody cares, but
We care. Not really. We would have cared if Waffle stepped away, but not you. Oh yeah, so on the right, I mix between c-betting small and checking. I'm going to c-bet small and not roll.
Yeah, I can never go wrong with a small bet.
And then here, I thought it was close between barreling and checking. I think if I had like ace of clubs, jack of hearts, I definitely barrel sometimes. But I thought the ace of spades was a really, really bad card to have here because we block all of his ace high backdoor flush draw flows. So I just pure check it. And then when he bets here on the river for a block, I kind of hate this spot. I think we have basically the nut worst suits to call here, but I wasn't sure if we still needed to call sometimes or not. Like I thought it was still pretty close even with the nut worst suits. But I roll an 8 thankfully, so it's just an easy fold. I'm not sure if we need to call it sometimes. I should probably check it. Definitely not pure, because again, Wizard didn't flag it as an EV loss, but I thought it was pretty close.
Might be in a different spot on the river.
The river, yeah, the bluff catch. I'm not
Yeah.
sure about it.
Yeah, that spot might be indifferent.
Yeah, if we had other suits, I'd definitely at least mix a call. With those suits, I'm not sure if it's a mix or a pure fold. I don't study limping and ISOing in blind versus blind spots, so we're just going to be winging this one on the right because no clue what the hell's going on. But you know, flop a gutter, and I don't know if I roll this. Yeah, I do roll. I roll high, and I just see bet. Don't know what I'm doing there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you basically
then-
roll 100.
All of
Yeah,
it.
I think we need to call that in those positions. I'm not entirely sure.
It's mostly a call.
Yeah, that's good.
And we're
Um,
rolling.
No, I don't think we want to have a shoving range here. If we have a raising range, I think it wants to be a min click. So I mix this between min click and call, and I roll a call.
I think just all in all.
I like to complicate my 4-bet spots and not shove. Just have my min-click calling ranges. I think that's correct, though. Could be wrong.
I mean, I don't mind it.
Hmm?
I don't mind what you're doing.
Yeah. I think
It
it's
just
fine.
gets
And then
really layered. You get really into like the meta in the game. That's what I don't like about it.
yeah.
Always give
Yeah.
them rope, right? Ooh, that's a
And
good
then
river.
that is a good river. On the right, I think we have to defend flop versus half pot, and then when he barrels turn, I think it's a fold.
Yeah.
And then easy shove on the left
Yeah,
because,
easy jam.
more value.
It feels like ace king, like giving up the turn, like I'm in it, I'm giving up my ace
I
king.
don't know how. I don't know if Ace King should ever bet the river though.
I don't know, yeah. And we
Yeah,
shove
the
knee
snap
snap fold.
folds.
Yeah. King
I
10,
mean,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna see that. And then the turn, I
Mm.
don't think it's a great turn for us, but I still think we want to barrel this sometimes. So I roll for a barrel, and I roll low, so no barrel.
So I'm just looking at this in Wizard, and Ace King of Spades and Ace King of Clubs. The villain shoves about 20% of the time.
The turn
On the river?
Yeah, on the river. And that
on the
4-bet
river.
spot.
Okay. So we do
It's-
bluff those ace kings
But it's
sometimes.
playing a shove or check strategy. So
The small bet's not a thing.
yeah.
Okay. And we roll high plus fuck Charlie Carroll, so we're 3-betting a student.
Is this his girlfriend? Is that the girl he lives with?
No clue.
Oh.
I mean,
I don't watch much of his stuff, but
Yeah, neither do I.
she has an 8 in the big blind stack, she must be good, right? Low.
I mean, I think she's also going to make a pretty weird play this hand, so we'll see. Yeah, I roll between big bet and check, blind versus blind on ace queen 4 there.
What
And
did you
I
do on the
roll
flop?
check.
I missed it. Like a small bet on the flop, or
Yeah, small bet call. And then she bets, what is this, 40%? We definitely can't fold, so I just call this.
nah, this is definitely a call.
Yeah. I
This
think
is
on the right it's just
interesting.
an easy
Yeah.
check too. And on the right we just try and check down and win, hopefully, versus some random thing that he's letting me win with. And she shows up with tens, which I think is kind of strange.
why?
I think betting turn for like 40% with tens just seems a little weird. Maybe it's okay.
Yeah, it kind of seemed reasonable to me.
Yeah, maybe it's okay. I don't know.
You had like the perfect hand to milk.
Yeah,
Like,
kinda sucks. God damn it, Charlie's getting more of my money. And yeah, ace five. I don't think this wants to get into the 4-bet bluff range here. I think ace five off does, but I think this is too much equity. But again, I don't know my pre-flop ranges by heart, so could have fucked that up.
No, you're right.
no, nah, ace 5 is a call always suited.
Thank God.
Mm.
Versus pot on the right, I think it's a pretty easy call.
Mm,
I think it's close on the left. I fold, but I think it's close.
Yeah, versus that size, maybe it's a float. You have double backdoors, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty close. I mean, it's definitely not a pure float because
Yeah,
I plugged
yeah.
it into Wizard and there was no EV last flag for folding.
Right.
But could be sometime. Wouldn't surprise me. I might have rolled. Yeah, I think I rolled it because I don't think I had an 84 during that hand. But I might
Can you
have
just
like rolled.
open that hand up and I'll look at it as we're talking?
Sure. Was like blind versus blind 3-bet pot, and the flop came. I think it was Queen 8 Deuce Rainbow. We have Ace 5 with a backdoor flush draw.
Yeah, the queen was a
Right.
diamond.
Yeah.
I think it was deuce of hearts.
Yeah, it's splitting between fold and call and raise.
Three-way
Even some
mix, yeah.
Even some raises. Yeah.
I mean, I did actually roll for a three-way mix in game there, or like I was planning to raise sometimes. So I'm pretty happy with that. Jack 10 suited, I'm gonna c-bet this sometimes, and this time I'm going to c-bet it. I think he wants to c-bet a lot. We get raised, and then I think Uppy was talking yesterday about 3-betting in these spots, so just for him I roll for the 3-bet, which this is doing 10% of the time. But unfortunately we don't get it, so we just call.
Good
Another
turn.
day of being a slave to the RNG.
Yeah, I'm always a slave to the RNG. And then on the turn, he's going to check, and I'm going to RNG between small bet and check. Our range here wants to mix between block and check. We're not block, we're in position, but small bet and check.
Mhm.
And this is roughly a 50-50 mix, which is what I did do. So that's good.
So never a big
That's
size.
never a big size,
Okay.
no. It's kind of a strange spot. Well, not actually that strange of a spot. Never mind. Yeah, we're basically betting strong Queen X and then Queen X with a flush draw plus in that spot, and
And
then finding some
even
bluffs.
those hands all small bet. Everything's
All small.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have a big size there.
Okay.
And then here I've decided to play big better check. Again, I think this is a flop where you can basically do whatever the hell you want. But big better check is cool, so. Ace Queen of Clubs, I'm more of a slave to the RNG, and I mix this between bet and check.
0. Blast off.
Unfortunately, we roll a 21, which is a low number, meaning passive actions, Steve.
Oh, jeez.
And we check. Then turn, I think, is just an easy check. Okay, you want to pause here after he bets pause? Yeah, I fuck up that spot. So
How do
he
you
bets
fuck up?
pot, and I snap call.
Yeah.
I should have thought about that spot.
I mean, are
This
you
is
ever really
actu-
gonna fold?
This is actually the biggest punt of the session. This is the only above 1 BB mistake I made this session. This is a pure shove.
Oh, you should have
This is
shoved.
shoving for
Okay,
value
I was like,
pure.
oh, okay. What
Yeah.
the fuck is he talking about?
So calling this was actually the biggest punt of the session.
Okay. Well, that's nice.
I think exploitatively it might not be as bad because I think when people pot to the river, they tend to be more polarized than the sim would be.
Oh, hell
But this
yeah.
is still,
And he's a
yeah, this
fish,
should
dude.
still be
Like,
shoving
he's
here.
clearly a fish, right?
He's never folding eights.
Like,
so.
Well, obviously he's never folding eights, but you could have something that's not eights potentially.
If you
Yeah,
I
shove,
don't know.
what are
I'm
you
kind of
hoping to
curious
get?
some of your guys' thoughts here.
What are you hoping to get called by if you shove? Like a worse queen?
king, queen?
I
Max?
don't remember in the sim.
What is
I don't know
what what happened here?
Mm.
He's UTG opened
Yeah,
Yep,
under the
yep.
gun open,
3-bet.
and then
cut
river
off
cutoff.
3-bet. It might not want to shove if you check it in the general sims when we're 100 bigs deep because we're slightly shorter, but it's still definitely going to want to raise. It just might not be an all-in size.
It was a chef 100% of the time, like always.
Yeah, this at the stack depth, but shorter might, or bit deeper might want to go smaller size.
Yeah.
I don't know. The
Yeah,
pot on the
check stands
river.
Yeah,
for the
it's strange that the solver always want to jam here.
Because what
Mm.
blood?
Yeah, this
I don't
is
get it.
I mean, ace queen. This hand in particular wants to jam, but the other ace queens want to call, and I don't know. The difference
You
here
think
is
I can
like
get away here?
the difference. See, like this is weird. Like the difference in call is like half a big blind. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, if we
I
jam
mean, I
here,
think at the short stack depth it was like a 1.1 big blind difference or something like that. Yeah.
you're never getting called by better.
Or by worse, you mean?
Yeah, excuse me. You're never getting called by worse. You're only getting called by
Yeah.
better.
Potentially king queen, I guess, but
I mean,
doubtful. Yeah,
it's,
king queen
it's still
suited,
a,
I guess,
yeah.
but that's mainly gonna four bet. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, sorry, I'm a little slow. Was there any betting on the flop or turn, or did those all check through?
No, check
No,
through.
It
as
went
he
check,
opens, I three bets, check down to the river, he bets pot.
Okay.
so that might be the reason why
Yeah.
it's like he should never
Yeah.
be checking
Is
the turn. I don't think.
Does the solver have any H left in this spot? Probably not, right? For villain?
No. Well,
No,
For
I
villain?
don't think so.
Yeah, villain
Yeah.
probably double checks here. With eights,
No,
yeah.
I mean, does the solver have any H left in the range
Yeah,
of
yeah,
villain?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I was thinking definitely it only bets the turn with eights like 75% of the time. Let me see.
Mm.
Yeah, like yes, 70, 68% of the time it bets with eights on
Yeah.
the turn.
And what does it do on the river when it double checks? What sizing does it use?
Well, it used primarily a block or a 75%, so like a 20%. It actually kind of splits between 20, 50, and 75. Yeah,
Dan, what do you
pretty
think
evenly.
he does if he blocks? What do you think you do?
If he blocks, I would have definitely raised.
Oh,
Yeah.
block is definitely a raise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have gone all in. Probably not. Probably would have raised smaller. But
Yeah, I think his
definitely
size
raising
was
versus the
kind of
block.
weird. His size was
Yeah.
kind of stupid. If you ask me.
Yeah, I mean personally, man, I think if you're facing this size on the river, I think our option with this hand is just call.
Call. Yeah, I agree. Totally, 100%.
Agreed.
Because
Like
what
I
is he
don't really
potting that you're winning
yeah.
against? Some random, I don't know.
Even if what, so let's just say you raise it to 32 and he goes all in, you're going to call anyway. Look at his stack. Like, you're,
He
it's
fucked
just,
up. He fucked up by potting the river. Not Dan, the other guy fucked up. Like he could have got paid if he played it properly. Like
So
block
8-8
It was
here.
just a painful spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the river, the solver is mixing again, checking about 35% of the time. 35%. And then it blocks some and then it bets the 75% sums. It actually prefers to block here. And I'm guessing just because to the block, we probably just do so much raising
Yeah. Yeah.
in position and then we can come over the top again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like if we block here, you're supposed to raise 25% of the time.
Yeah. I mean, if he did block, I was probably raising queen. I wouldn't have queen nine here, but queen jack plus for sure.
Uh, yeah, you pretty much. I mean, the way I remember this is you pretty much raise all your top pairs when people block, and it looks like
Yeah.
that's what the solver's doing.
Yeah.
Top pair plus, so
It
yeah.
was just the spot that bothered me because this is the one thing that cost me from having a minus 0.00 EV loss for the session. So it pains me.
Yeah, I think we
yeah.
can ignore the
Although to be
solver on
fair,
this
it's
one.
easy to get that when you have aces everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't. I think we can ignore the solver a bit on this one.
All right, sounds good then. We want to keep going because I have to head out in like 20 minutes, so I want to make sure we finish this last 8 minutes before then.
yeah, I'm heading out, guys. Good night. Thank you.
See you, buddy.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
thanks.
Good night.
Good night.
Alright, so ace 3 I roll, and we finally get an aggressive action for like the first time all session.
Yeah, what's with your RNG, man? Gotta fucking.
The scared
I mean,
money
I've
RNG.
recently started
Yeah, but
using this
the
new
hell?
RNG, and this is like this is me having created an RNG in Poker Tracker 4.
Oh, it's create.
So it's
Okay.
definitely
Yeah.
possible I fucked this
I
up,
think you
and
fucked it
I
up,
just
man.
get low numbers all the time now. So
You just
that could totally be it.
play like a bitch the whole session.
Yeah, literally. I mean, the only aggressive actions I've taken are like pure 4 bets with aces.
uh,
I haven't gotten anything good. I mean, 8-7 suited, I rolled for a dunk on the flop. Actually, I rolled for a 3-bet pre, dunk on the flop, raise on the flop. I rolled so many times that hand, and I never got it. It was ridiculous. Okay, so ace king suited. Easy 3-bet.
I think Boris KGB is somebody. I'm trying to remember, but he was mentioned in somebody's. I think he's pretty good, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I hate how he played his hand, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
you think I was a
he's
bitch
like a
this
somebody.
session. He was
Yeah,
definitely more of a bitch this session. Alright, so high frequency pot on the right. Well, I'm going to be playing pot or check, and this hand wants to bet a lot. Because you know it's the nut 2 pair. Here, I can't believe I fucked this up, but I went for a smaller check. The solver wants half or check. Not using a half size when I'm supposed to is probably the most painful thing in my life, but
Wow.
you know.
How could you
Yeah.
not use a half size when it's the, you know?
I know, it's the dream board for it,
That's
and I
your
screwed
bet,
up.
man. That's your
I
bet.
know. It was really sad. And then I check turn. And then he bets small. And we have a pure continue, obviously.
Hmm.
But what I decide to do here is text my friend, look at my computer, go, I have 1 second time bag. Fuck, I don't know what to do. I guess call. And thankfully we hit the call button in time, but this was definitely not what I should have done. Yeah. That's
No
actually a
timing tells
mix
there.
between like yeah, it's a mix between like 10% raise and 90% call. So yeah. And then no timing tells, he bitches out with the 6-5 and does not fire a
No,
river.
no, 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 no,
So
no, no, no. Okay, I take
very
it all back.
nicely done,
I
Boris.
take it all back. He's nobody. He sucks. This guy fucking sucks.
I mean, seriously, you stab the turn with the 6-5. You don't block my folding range because I'm never 3-betting the 6-5 or any of that there.
Maybe he
And
just thinks
you
you're a huge
check?
fish. He knows you're calling down.
Oh, come on.
Well, queen is not great, right? I guess.
Yeah, I
But
guess so,
whatever.
but like, still, you have to.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, on the right, I 3-bet because I roll a 3-bet, and then I mix this between small bet and check with the Jack of Hearts, and I roll a 1, so check, because you know my RNG.
Mhm.
Turn, I think, is a pretty slam dunk check. I don't think there's anything else we want to do.
Yeah, those double flush draw boards too.
Yeah, we want to be more passive on them. He bets, what is that, 75%, 2/3, something like that. I think we have to call this.
What was the solver doing here?
I mean, I called and it didn't flag it, so definitely calling at least sometimes.
Yummy.
Might have been better off checking. Maybe it wasn't different. Yeah, I check. He shoves. And I think we just have a pure fold versus the shove. I think that's pretty straightforward. Yeah. I think the Jack of Hearts there is a really bad blocker. I mean, both Jacks are, but both are pretty bad blockers there. So I think it's a pretty easy fold. We also have a ton of ace-X. Gonna have some flushes. That's big on the turn. Delay that's big. I think we still have to call with.
Hmm.
And then the river, he goes for 133% or something close to that. I don't actually hate our hand. Like, we have pretty solid unblockers to the bluffing range here, but I think we just have so many better hands to call because we're gonna have some tens, we're gonna have some flushes, we're gonna have a bunch of two pairs. I just think
Yeah.
that that's too low down to call, even
Yeah.
though the blockers are decent. And ace king, we roll between 3-bet and call, and we roll a 3-bet. Ace queen 8, after having explained how we can just go for a quarter with range, I decided to play potted check this time. I told you I was kind of distracted during the session, so my sizings are a little inconsistent in my sizing schemes. But yeah,
No hand. Do you mind if I like when you're done, just share my screen and just talk about a couple of spots?
sure. This we're just gonna pure fold. This is a bet. I think it's almost over anyway. I think we have like 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I already said sit out next big blind, so we're just wrapping it up.
Yeah, you played well, man. You play well.
Yeah.
You played
There's
really,
definitely
really well.
like there's definitely some like leading spots that you know better than me. Like that's definitely one of the weaker parts of my game.
Yeah, I mean it was a pretty solid session overall. I think we finished with like 96.6% accuracy. So I was pretty happy with it. Although it's kind of easier to get a really high accuracy when you're just betting the nuts all the time.
Yeah.
And we did sunrun that. So
Yeah, when you
All right. Let me see if I can share. All right. You guys can see that?
yep.
You guys see wizard?
Oh wait. Yes, yep.
Yes, yes.
All right.
yeah.
So this was you know, whatever this was. This was hijack open, big blind call, and then it went check check on the flop. And we were just
Oh, this
talking
is when I
about
had king queen of diamonds, I think.
I don't
Yeah.
remember exactly what you had, but what we were discussing here was the sizing, right?
Yeah.
And so from my understanding here, like a really simple kind of heuristic is like when the board's low and we decide to lead here as the out of position player, we're going to be using like more of these small sizings. And the reason is because a lot of our hands are going to need like more protection, right? So so something if I switch one of these cards out and I make it like an ace or a king, we're gonna see like more overbets, like more bigger sizing.
Yeah.
Um, just as like a simple, I forget exactly what you said, but I think you said something about going bigger. And
I mean, on this flop, when it's slow, I think here the solver, what I said was I think the solver wants to mix between like small bet, 2/3, and then overbet, like all three sizes.
oh, so this
But
I thought we were talking about like the turn probe because I think he led here,
yeah,
right?
that was the turn probe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So generally here, like I'm using pretty much exclusively this 33% pot. Um, mostly because I'm only using three sizes. I'm using like a 33, a 75, and a 150. But like if we change, it probably doesn't matter which card we change here. If we change this,
I mean, it
maybe.
matters a little bit usually when it also comes in overcard. So if it was like 10-8-4 and then came a queen instead of a 5, we'd want to
Mhm.
up our sizing scheme to a bigger size a bit.
Right. So, but the point that I'm just trying to get across here is that when the board's higher, right, like this, and we decide to probe, right, like when the cards are or higher cards, we're gonna have more big bets.
On the
So
turn,
if I
you're
make
just talking on the turn, right? Like as a
yeah,
probe,
on their
as
turn,
a
yeah,
probe, right?
just the turn probes.
Yeah.
So whether it be the king, just looking at that, just for your own like same. We kind of see the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not a ton of betting, but when we do bet, we do see more of the. And again, if we didn't allow for like this 250 pot bet, and we just made it like a 150, this might be doing it like
A lot more, yeah.
yeah, not a lot more,
Yeah,
but maybe like
yeah.
20% of the time total here,
Right.
something like that.
Yeah,
So
I
and
think
then
20% or 25% would be about right.
yeah. So and then the other spot we talked about like for sizings, and
Alright.
again, I don't use overbets on the flop here, right? I do
Yeah.
know that this is a thing, right?
35%.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
So
that's a lot.
If you play over bet or check on those flops, you usually want to mix between like 50% of 125 and then 50% check. It's roughly half-half.
But you
Right.
don't have to incorporate this
Yeah.
overbet. Like,
Yeah, I
mhm,
definitely don't. I think it complicates my game too much. So I use like a 1/3 and a 2/3.
that's what I was
Um,
gonna say. Complicates
so
it.
yeah, so I'm pretty much pure C betting this for like the 2/3 size, even though this is like 3/4. Um, but then like you mentioned something about changing this 8 out for a deuce, and I was just curious myself how this was gonna play differently. And it's not we do more checking. I think maybe because the range hits us a little less. I don't. Maybe the deuce is better for the out of position player, but we still see a ton of
Yeah, we have
overbetting.
them. No, yeah, what I was talking about is when it comes a deuce instead of like an 8 or a 5 or something, we
Mhm.
have a more polarized range, so we tend to lean more towards going for the big better check compared to the small bet with range strategy.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
actually, yeah, that's what it's doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just curious about these two spots, and definitely the probe spot's like a spot where I think like we can um kind of punish players like if we start to
Yeah.
learn like this overbet like when to overbet here
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I think we
Agreed.
can overuse this too.
Yeah, you can definitely overuse it.
Yeah.
It works.
That
People
was
don't know what to
something
do.
that was something, Dan, like that changed a lot for me. Like the
On one
overbet
of the
turn
earlier
probe, it's like, wow,
hands,
I never even
on one of the earlier hands, actually, you saw me screw one up. I think it was the ace 3-3, and then the turn when I probed for 133%. But
right.
Mhm.
usually when it's those ace and then a low paired board, like ace low pair. So
Yeah.
if it's like a low paired flop, they check back and the turn comes an ace. We
Yeah.
don't even want to go for that small overbet. We want to just absolutely bomb it for like 250, 300% pot and just
Okay.
bet our trips and then like our very strongest ace X.
Yeah, if you want to like complicate your strategy, then by all means go ham.
Oh
But
yeah, I didn't do that in game. I screwed it up
yeah,
completely.
I
But
I don't know that that's like a complete error, right? Because like I said, like I use wizard as as a quick reference, but
yeah,
when I'm doing my heuristics, just for to simplify, like I have two bet sizes on the flop, and then I only have three on the turn. So
yeah. I actually have a subset of a little over 300 Pio flops for a lot of these spots where I have my turn probe cap size at 133%.
mhm.
So if
yeah,
you
if
were
you,
to look at it in those sims, it would actually cap out there. But yeah,
yeah,
with Wizard, it goes bigger.
yeah. I mean, if you can figure out what to do with your 300% pot bet on the turn, more power to you. Because I'm not going to know how to play against you. I'm going to just shrug.
Yeah, I
Shrug
did
fold.
not know it in game.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, well, I guess I'll wait until I check back a set or something. Like
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
point. But like you said, if we can figure it out,
yeah,
More
more
power
power
to
to
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, go for it.
Avoidably, we can use it too.
But yeah, I don't know. That's it. I'm done. I was looking at this spot for myself. This was-
Well, are you going to tell us about it or not?
no, this was the hand you played. I was just curious because sometimes Wizard fucks up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know what it was gonna look like.
Yeah.
So what happened
So
here?
next
This
session,
was
overbet turn probes by Dan. That's your mission
There's
for next
actually
week.
I think Kanu does a decent job of talking about it in his course. He usually goes for a smaller size. I think Kanu recommended for his turn probes like a mix of 40% and 110% in a lot of spots.
Mhm.
And then on like those Ace XX turn probe textures, he recommends just dropping the 40 and going for 110 or check. Which isn't quite what I adopt, but that's probably fine too to go for that small overbet.
so this was the spot. This was that ace queen spot where it said to jam, and when I
Oh,
ran
yeah,
it through,
yeah.
it wants to jam also.
Okay. Yeah.
But this we just have ace queen a diamond, so I don't know what happens initially, but it plays slightly different. I mean, I imagine just on the turn we're just probably betting so much. That's why.
Oh, I definitely did not find that.
Yeah, so this is.
That was a big mistake by me. Yeah.
I mean,
What size is it going for on the turn of curiosity?
the turn should be 33, 75, and 150. So it's
75. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a 2/3-ish sizing. Makes sense.
yeah. So I mean, we pretty much never have it, but when we do, I guess just because how capped he is here, I guess.
What is he calling with if you jam?
I mean, again, I imagine
Pocket
just
eights.
better. Yeah, everything that's better. I see. Like, I never understand why the solver will do this. Like, we're raising for
What worse
value.
hands are folding though?
Yeah, that's the thing I don't get.
I don't understand this.
I don't get it either.
I guess this is like one of those things where
Wait, do we fold him off of a chop sometimes?
Yeah, is that it? Because he
That's
folds.
Yeah.
sick.
Change it
That
back
is
to
so
normalized.
sick. Holy.
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
Just so you know, I'm
Maybe
never
that's why.
folding there.
You have to target exactly ace queen and then
Yeah.
try and
Yeah, I
bluff
get-
him off the same hand. That's
right. I
Oh,
guess
so
that's
because
ridiculous.
beautiful.
our other value is queens. I mean, we're bluffing some with queen jack, eights. Bluffing some with 8-7. I mean 7-6. If you can fucking find this, Jesus Christ.
Wow, 7-6. No. Well, maybe
Yeah,
Yeah, I
just
don't
so-
think I was
check
betting
check
7-6.
line.
8-7 I probably would have found at a frequency, but 7-6 definitely not.
So yeah, I mean, if you can find these other raises, I mean, good for you. Shit, I'm just surprised.
Yeah, you know what? If somebody can find that ace queen shove to bluff somebody off of a chop, hats off.
Yeah,
That is something.
I guess that's where the value is, right?
Yeah. I bet Charlie Carroll's student would have found that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Don't
It
hate
is
because she owned you.
interesting, yeah.
Don't hate.
Yeah,
She owned you twice, bro.
Hey, no, I
fuck-
think I
you
won the. No, we
You
chopped the
fucking-
first hand.
You
We
fucking
chopped the first
suck at
one.
this game.
We chopped the first one, and having checked the spot, it was a check back. So I was like,
But
You know
she
what?
did own your soul with the tens. Just
for as much
she did own my
Owned
soul with the
you.
tens. You know what? I respect that. She
Yeah.
did
for
own my
as much
soul
as
there.
these guys make fun of your half pot bet size thing, you play pretty solid.
oh fuck yeah. Yeah, you're good.
I
mean,
mean,
you
I'm
suck.
beating the pool.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
beating the pool, so I'm okay at least. But
Yeah,
Oh yeah, man. You're well reasoned for sure.
I'm dreaming of the day when I can shot take 200 reg tables, but for now I don't have the bankroll for that. So
thanks.
Cool. Well, that was good.
All right, so
Yeah.
we're gonna meet on Sunday, I think, at 9, same time.
9 a.m.
No, yeah.
I was all happy there because like, calm the fuck
9
down. What the
a.m.,
fuck is
Jesus
wrong with
Christ.
you? I'm old, man. That's when life starts for me.
9 a.m. is like when I go to sleep. Come on, I can't do
How
that.
old are you?
Me?
Oh,
Me?
whoever said
Um,
9
um,
a.m. Ivan? Or who said
no,
it?
I did.
A luncheon?
Yeah. I'm
How old
40.
are you, man?
I'm 41.
Oh shit, I'm getting there too. I'm 34.
Yeah, you're getting there. Yeah, you're right around the corner. I'm turning 42 pretty soon.
Shit.
Fuck. Fucking hell.
Dude, just give it up. Just
I
you
know,
just
I know.
start burying a hole.
Uh,
Start digging a hole, I mean.
uh,